You call his name from the kitchen. Plates are still drying on the rack. The late afternoon light is coming in sideways, and somewhere behind you, claws click softly on the floor. You turn. And there he is, ears half raised, eyes fixed on you, and that slow, almost delicate movement. The head tilt. For a brief second, the world shrinks to that tiny gesture. Time stretches. You feel something in your chest loosen, like a quiet sigh you didn't know you were holding. You smile without thinking. Maybe you even talk in that voice you say you don't use, but always do. What? What is it, buddy? And he tilts just a little further, as if that small angle could somehow push him deeper into your world. We're used to calling this moment cute and leaving it there. We post the photo, we send the video to the family group, people comment so adorable and add hearts. But under that thin layer of cuteness, something else is happening. Something that, if you look closely, has more to do with listening, reading you, and maybe even questioning you. Because that head tilt is not random. It has timing. It has context. It shows up when you say certain words, in certain tones, at certain hours of the day. It appears when your keys jingle, when a car door slams outside, when you say walk, snack, come here, or simply when your voice carries a feeling you didn't notice. And yet, he did. Imagine, for a moment, that the head tilt is not a performance for you, but a silent question from him. A small, wait, what does this mean? Or, are you okay? Or even, do I need to worry right now? Maybe, without knowing, your dog is adjusting not only his ears, but his entire emotional compass around your next move. What if, every time he tilts his head, he's not just melting your heart? He's testing the world, testing you, and testing the invisible distance between what you say and what you feel. Stay with this thought for a moment, because once you see the head tilt this way, you'll never be able to look at it as just cute again. In a moment, we'll step inside that tiny movement and explore what might really be happening in your dog's mind and body when his head slowly leans to one side. Maybe it happens like this in your house. You say your dog's name from the kitchen, not even very loud, and from the other room you hear the soft thump of paws. Then see that little face appear at the door, head slightly tilted, eyes fixed on you, as if you had just said the most important thing in the world. You feel your chest warm. Maybe you even talk back in that softer voice you reserve only for him. What? What is it, buddy? And in that instant, it really feels like he understands every word. But inside that simple gesture, there is a whole world of perception working. When your dog tilts his head, he is not just striking a pose for a cute photo. He is literally adjusting his internal antennas. The shape of his ears, the position of his skull, the way sound bounces in the room. A small tilt can change which ear receives your voice first. How clearly he hears that one word hidden in the sentence. Walk, ball, outside, cookie. It is as if he is saying, wait, I know that sound. Let me tune in better. Picture this, you come home at the end of a long day. Your keys hit the table with a sharper clink than usual. You breathe out a little heavier. You say, hey, I'm home. But there is a trace of tension in your voice that you did not even register. Your dog comes trotting, stops a few steps away, tilts his head, and just watches you. Tail not crazy happy, just gently moving. Mouth closed, ears alert. In that pause, he is reading you like a book. Not the story you tell with words, but the one your body, your smell, your breathing are telling. Sometimes the tilt is pure curiosity. You just made a new sound. What does that mean for me? Sometimes it is confusion, like when you try a different command or mix two words he only half knows. And sometimes, if we are honest, it is a bit of gentle manipulation. Maybe one day he tilted his head, you melted, laughed, gave him extra attention or even a treat. Dogs are masters of association. So this movement opens that door in the human. Without any malice, he files it away. This little tilt can summon your full focus, pull your face closer, make you forget your phone for a moment. Have you ever noticed how you almost always lean in when he does it? How your own voice changes, gets sweeter, more sing-song. That is no coincidence either. It becomes a dance between you two, a private language made of tiny gestures. He tilts the head, you soften the tone. He blinks slowly, you smile. In less than 3 seconds, the entire climate of the room can shift. But this exact same gesture, surrounded by different details, can mean something completely opposite. The same tilt, with a stiff tail, a closed mouth, faster breathing, ears pulled slightly back, tells a different story. In those moments, the question is not, what is he trying to get from me? But, what is he trying to endure with me? And it is there that the head tilt stops being only cute and starts to reveal deeper truths about how your dog is living his everyday life. In a moment, we are going to walk into those more delicate situations together, and you may recognize scenes from your own home that you never quite saw this way before. Imagine this. You're in your kitchen at the end of the day, keys on the table, shoes kicked off, that tired silence of the house settling. Your dog is lying nearby, half asleep. You say his name, almost distracted, "Buddy." And in one slow, deliberate movement, he lifts his head and tilts it. From the outside, it looks like pure cuteness. But inside his head, a lot is happening. In that instant, his ears are doing something almost like a musician tuning an instrument. Dogs hear in 3 dimensions. When he tilts his head, he's adjusting the angle of his ears to better capture where your voice is coming from and what shape it has. He is not just hearing a sound, he is trying to understand a message. Was that his name? Was that the walk word? Was there a tremor of sadness in the way you said it today? He remembers patterns. The last time you said his name with that exact softness, maybe you sat down on the floor and hugged him a little longer than usual. Maybe you had a bad day. Dogs become quiet collectors of our emotional routines. So when he tilts his head, it may be his way of comparing, this tone. Is it the same as yesterday? Is something wrong with my human? Watch closely. Are his eyes open and soft, ears relaxed, tail gently wagging at middle height? That's curiosity, interest, a kind of gentle, attentive presence. He's with you. But if, the moment the doorbell rings, you see the same head tilt with the whites of the eyes showing, ears pinned slightly back, body a bit stiff, tail low or frozen, that's not cute. That is doubt mixed with worry. What's that sound? Is it danger? Do I need to protect? Do I need to hide? And then there is the quiet trick he may have learned. Maybe one day, by chance, he tilted his head and you melted, laughed, gave him a treat, or stopped everything to talk to him. Dogs are brilliant observers of what works with us. Some will repeat the tilt, almost like a question mark in the air. If I do this, will you look at me? Will you stop staring at that glowing rectangle and come back here, with me, in this moment? Without even realizing it, you may have taught him that this single, small movement opens a door to your attention. So now, every time he is a little unsure or simply wants to draw you in, he tries it again. Tilt. Silence. Waiting for the world, you, to respond. In the next moments, we're going to go even deeper into these microsignals and how your own routine, your stress, and your habits may be quietly shaping the way your dog uses this head tilt far beyond what you ever imagined. So imagine this. You're standing in the kitchen, late afternoon light coming through the window, keys in your hand as you say, almost to yourself, I really need to leave soon. Your dog is lying nearby, half asleep. You're not calling him. You're not using that sing-song baby voice. And yet, the moment the word leave slips out, his ears twitch, his eyes open, and there it is, the slow, delicate head tilt. From the outside, it looks like pure cuteness. But inside his mind, something much more complex is happening. He's running through a kind of internal checklist. Did I hear leave? Does that mean she's going? Does that mean I'm staying? Is this like the last time, when the house went quiet and I waited alone? His head doesn't tilt because he's trying to be charming. It tilts because something in your voice, in that one word, doesn't fully fit yet. He's trying to line it all up. Dogs live palabras soltas, in isolated islands of meaning. Walk, car, work, bath. Who wants a treat? Each word is wrapped in memories. The sound of the door, the feeling in their chest when you pick up the leash, the weight of the silence when you're gone. When he tilts his head, he's not just processing the word. He's checking the emotional package attached to it. Your tension, your rush, your hesitation. You might not notice that your shoulders tightened or your breath got a little shorter, but he does. Now picture another scene. You're on the sofa, scrolling on your phone, half distracted. Your dog sits in front of you just looking. You murmur, "What?" without really lifting your eyes. He tilts his head, eyes wide, ears standing like question marks. You immediately soften, "Oh my God, look at you. So cute." Your hand reaches out to stroke him. Maybe you put the phone down for a second. In that instant, he's learned something powerful. When the world feels distant, when you're not fully there, that tiny gesture pulls you back. The head tilt becomes a bridge he can control. Over time, this turns into a subtle conversation. He uses the tilt to ask, "Are you with me? Are you okay? Do you mean what you just said?" Some tilts are full of curiosity, almost playful. Others are slower, smaller, wrapped in a quiet kind of unease. And if you start to notice when it appears, at the sound of keys, the creak of the gate, footsteps in the hallway, you may find that, beneath the charm, there is a pattern speaking softly to you, waiting for you to truly listen. If this is opening something inside you right now, let that happen. Notice how you're probably replaying moments in your head, your dog on the couch, in the kitchen, by the door. That same little tilt over and over, like a question you never fully answered. You can even pause this video for a second, look over at him if he's nearby, and just observe. No command, no sit, no stay. Just look and breathe, and see what comes back from him when you offer only presence. Because this is where your role secretly changes. You stop being just the one who feeds, walks, and corrects, and you become a kind of quiet translator. You start to notice. When he tilts his head, are his eyes soft or wide? Is his body leaning slightly toward you, or frozen in place? Is the tail loose or tucked, or not moving at all? That same tilt that made you reach for your phone to take a cute photo may, in some moments, be his way of whispering, "I don't fully understand, but I'm trying, for you." And now I want you to imagine something simple. Next time the doorbell rings, or your keys jingle, or that predictable chaos begins, instead of walking through it on autopilot, you slow time down by just 2 seconds. Doorbell. Head tilt. You inhale. You soften your shoulders, maybe even your voice, and you say something low and calm, not to silence him, but to reassure him. You're still you. The world is still safe. And slowly, repetition after repetition, that moment of anticipation begins to change shape inside his mind. If any part of this feels familiar, if you can almost pinpoint the exact situations when that tilt appears, I want to hear from you. What is the moment that most confuses you with your dog? Is it the walk, the visitors, the car, the goodbyes when you leave home? Leave it in the comments, because your question will probably speak for a lot of other people too. And if you're finding yourself looking at your dog differently already, that's a sign this kind of content is for you. Subscribing is just a way to keep this conversation alive. In the next part, I want to go one step further with you. How to gently respond to the head tilt in a way that doesn't just calm the moment, but slowly reshapes how your dog feels about the entire world around him. So now, when your dog tilts his head, you know it is not just a random gesture dropped into the air. It is a small, silent question mark. A moment where hearing, memory, emotion, and your relationship all meet in a fraction of a second. He is not only being cute. He is listening to your words, yes, but also to the story your voice is telling underneath the words. Picture it. The evening is quiet. The TV is on low, and you say, almost without thinking, "Want to go out?" His ears flick, his eyes soften, and there it is, that slow, deliberate tilt. Maybe he is trying to locate the exact direction of your voice. Maybe he is sorting through his mental dictionary, searching for that familiar out that usually comes before the sound of the leash. Or maybe he is feeling your tiredness, your impatience, your good mood, and asking, "Is this a good moment? Are you really with me right now?" On another day, the same tilt appears, but the scene is different. Doorbell, footsteps in the hall, your body suddenly tensing. His head tilts, but his mouth is tight, his breathing faster, the tail low. This is not curiosity. This is a dog reading the tension in the room and bracing for what might come next. That sweet little gesture, in this context, becomes a mirror of your own anticipation. And sometimes he already knows the power he has over you. You speak, he tilts, your eyes melt, You smile, you pet him, you soften your tone. He learns. He records. When I do this, she slows down. When I do this, he forgets he was angry. Head tilt as strategy. Gentle manipulation. A way of asking for connection in the language he has. Body, gaze, silence. If you start to watch more carefully, you will see that the tilt is never alone. It always comes with something else. The shape of the eyes, the rhythm of the breathing, the tension or softness in the shoulders. When you add all of that together, your dog stops being a mystery and becomes a book you can finally read. So next time his head leans to one side, instead of just saying, "Oh, how cute," try silently asking back, "What are you telling me right now? Are you curious? Confused? A little afraid? Or are you simply calling me back to you?" Sometimes the answer will be obvious. Other times you will need to slow down, breathe, observe. That pause is where the relationship grows. If this helped you see your dog with different eyes, you already know what to do. Save this video, leave your like so this kind of content reaches more people who love their dogs as much as you do, and share it with that friend who always sends you head tilt photos. And now I want to hear from you. What is your biggest doubt, or the biggest challenge you are living with your dog today? Tell me in the comments. Your question may become the next video, and maybe the next small piece of the puzzle between what your dog does and what he is really trying to say.